December 2001 dawned like any other winter day in New Delhi, but it would soon descend into chaos and carnage, etching itself into the annals of Indian history as a day of infamy. That morning, the majestic edifice of the Indian Parliament, the very symbol of Indian democracy, became the target of a brazen and audacious terrorist attack. At approximately 11:40 a.m., as the winter session of Parliament was drawing to a close, and many members were still inside, a group of heavily armed terrorists stormed the complex, their sinister plan aimed at striking at the heart of the Indian nation. This act of terror sent shockwaves across India and the world, leaving an indelible scar on the nation's psyche. The attack on the Indian Parliament was not just an assault on a building, it was a direct attack on the values of democracy and freedom that India holds dear. The Parliament, with its iconic dome and grand halls, represents the hopes and aspirations of 1 billion people. It is the very foundation of India's democratic system, where the elected representatives of the people gather to debate, discuss, and shape the destiny of the nation. The terrorists, in their act of cowardice, aim to destroy not just a physical structure, but the very idea of India itself. The attack began with a deafening explosion and the terrifying rattle of gunfire, shattering the peace of the day and plunging the nation into a state of shock and disbelief. As the news of the attack spread like wildfire, fear and anger gripped the nation. People huddled around their television sets, desperately seeking information about the unfolding events. Images of smoke billowing from the Parliament building, the sound of sirens wailing in the distance, and the frantic voices of reporters narrating the unfolding tragedy became etched in the collective memory of a nation. The immediate aftermath of the attack was one of chaos and confusion. Security forces reacted swiftly, cordoning off the area and engaging the terrorists in a fierce gun battle. Inside the Parliament building, members of Parliament and staff took cover, their lives hanging in the balance as the sound of gunfire reverberated through the corridors of power. The attack lasted for nearly 45 minutes, a tense and terrifying period where the fate of the nation seemed to hang precariously in the balance. The terrorists, 5 in number, had meticulously planned their operation, exploiting security loopholes to gain entry into the heavily guarded Parliament complex. They arrived in a white ambassador car, a common sight in Delhi, their vehicle bearing a fake Home Ministry sticker, further aiding their deception. Their target, Gate 11, one of the Parliament's entry points. Utilizing the element of surprise, the terrorists drove their vehicle through Gate 11, their deadly intent masked by the normalcy of the day. Their timing was deliberate, Parliament was in session, and the presence of numerous vehicles entering and exiting the complex provided a cover for their nefarious mission. Moreover, the attack coincided with a discussion within Parliament about the Kargil war martyrs, adding another layer of symbolism to their act of terror. Upon entering the complex, the terrorists, armed with AK-47 rifles, grenades and explosives, immediately opened fire, their bullets finding their marks in the unsuspecting security personnel stationed at the gate. The sudden and brutal assault left the security personnel with little time to react. The terrorists' objective was clear: to inflict maximum casualties and sow terror in the heart of Indian democracy. Their audacious plan involved more than just an attack. It was a meticulously crafted operation, aimed at causing mass casualties and holding members of Parliament hostage. They had carefully chosen their target, the Parliament building itself, a symbol of Indian democracy and a place where key leaders were present and vulnerable. The terrorists had come prepared for a prolonged siege, their backpacks laden with enough ammunition and explosives to inflict large-scale damage. The attack on the Indian Parliament resulted in the tragic loss of 9 innocent lives, each a testament to the human cost of terrorism. Among the fallen were 6 security personnel, 5 from the Delhi police and 1 from the Parliament security force. These brave men, entrusted with the safety and security of the Parliament complex and its occupants, stood their ground, their courage in the face of danger a testament to their commitment to duty. Those who lost their lives defending the Parliament were not just security personnel, they were fathers, husbands, sons, and brothers. They were ordinary people who had dedicated their lives to protecting others, and on that fateful day, they made the ultimate sacrifice while upholding their oath to serve and protect. Their bravery prevented a potentially greater tragedy, as their actions disrupted the terrorists' plans and bought precious time for reinforcements to arrive. Beyond the security personnel, the attack also claimed the lives of a gardener who was tending to the Parliament's lawns, and 2 Parliament watch and ward staff who were going about their daily duties. Their deaths underscored the indiscriminate nature of terrorism, which often targets innocent civilians going about their daily lives. The attack left a permanent void in the lives of the families of the victims. Their grief was palpable, a stark reminder of the human cost of hatred and violence. The nation mourned alongside them, recognizing the immense sacrifice made by these individuals who laid down their lives protecting the very heart of Indian democracy. The 5 terrorists who stormed the Parliament complex, their faces contorted with hate, their actions fueled by a deadly ideology, met their end in the hail of bullets fired by the security forces. Their identities, once shrouded in the anonymity of terror, were soon revealed, exposing the network of hatred and violence that had orchestrated the attack. The investigation revealed the terrorists' identities as Hamza, Rana, Raja, Haider and Mohammed. These names, now synonymous with the attack, were aliases, carefully constructed identities designed to conceal their true backgrounds and affiliations. Further investigation revealed that the terrorists had been trained, armed and dispatched with a clear objective: to attack the Indian Parliament and unleash terror within its hallowed halls. The terrorists, it was discovered, had entered India from Pakistan, crossing the porous border that divides the 2 nations. Their journey to Delhi was facilitated by a network of overground workers and sympathizers, highlighting the challenges faced by security agencies in combating terrorism. Their training, as per intelligence reports, had taken place in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, in camps run by terrorist organizations, operating with impunity. The unveiling of the terrorists' identities and their Pakistani connections sent shockwaves through India. The attack was not merely an act of violence, it was a calculated assault on India's sovereignty and integrity, planned and executed with the support of elements within Pakistan. The attack exposed the deep-rooted infrastructure of terror that existed across the border, a network that continued to pose a significant threat to India's security. All right, let's dive deeper into where it all began. The origins of this attack are as chilling as they are complex. You see, it wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment decision. No, it was meticulously planned over the course of several months, maybe even years. The masterminds behind it left a trail of breadcrumbs, subtle yet traceable, for those who knew where to look. Now you might be wondering, who are these people? What drives them to commit such heinous acts? Well, the answers lie in a tangled web of ideology, power struggles, and sometimes sheer madness. It's a grim reminder of the lengths to which some will go to further their own agendas. But as we peel back the layers, we start to see a pattern that reveals not just the how, but also the why. And understanding this why is crucial. It's the key to preventing future attacks and hopefully bringing some measure of justice to those affected. So stay with us as we continue to unravel this dark and twisted story. There's a lot more to uncover, and every piece of the puzzle brings us one step closer to the truth. All right, let's delve into the key figures behind the Parliament attack. This was no small operation. It involved meticulous planning and coordination. The main perpetrators were part of a well-organized terrorist group. Their identities and roles were revealed through a series of investigations that followed the attack. Moving on to the investigation, arrests, and the trial. Right after the attack, law enforcement agencies swung into action. The investigation was intense and thorough, leading to the arrest of several suspects. The trial that followed was highly publicized, shedding light on the intricate details of the plot and the people involved. It was a significant legal battle, with the nation watching closely. Now let's talk about India's response to terror following the Parliament attack. The government took swift and decisive action to bolster national security. New laws were enacted, and existing ones were strengthened to combat terrorism more effectively. Additionally, there was a concerted effort to enhance intelligence capabilities and improve coordination among various security agencies. Finally, we need to consider the attack's impact on Indo-Pak relations. The incident significantly strained the already tense relationship between India and Pakistan. Diplomatic channels were buzzing with accusations and counter-accusations. The attack led to a series of high-level meetings and negotiations as both nations grappled with the fallout. The repercussions of this event are still felt in the geopolitical landscape of the region today.